everyone, it's Dawn here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to our new subscribers. I saw you creeping in there. It's lovely to see you, lovely to have you with us. And so today, and of course you're all very welcome, whether you're a new subscriber, particularly if you're a new subscriber, and if you're a long-term subscriber. And if you're watching this video, perhaps, or this channel for the first time and you're not yet a subscriber, I hope you'll click that subscribe button by the end of the video so that you can keep up with what we do here on this channel. Now, if you click the all button after you've hit the subscribe button, it means you won't miss any videos. I've had a couple of comments saying some of our lovely subscribers are missing our videos. Now, perhaps that's probably my fault because I didn't explain. Once you've hit that subscribe, hit it again and then hit the all. And then you'll be informed of every video that comes up, whether you want to watch it or not. So there we go. So today we're going to be using wrapping paper, as I mentioned in my last video, if you were able to join us. Now, this is the wrapping paper I've chosen. As you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to turn it over in a minute and you'll see very clearly how I've attached it to this board. I'm not using card this time. I said we were going to use it to make our own patterned card, and you can do that if you want to. I've put it to a mount board, and if I turn it over, you'll see how I've attached it. All I've done is I've wrapped it around. We're making a clipboard. And if you can make these any size you like, but if you want to follow my sizes, you will need a board that is 6 by 8 inches, and your wrapping paper needs to be about 8 by 10 inches. But all this will be in the description box below, so don't worry if you can't follow it as I'm saying it. It'll all be there for you. At the end of the video, just click on the more. It'll drop down and you'll see everything you need to know. So as you can see, I'm attaching this with double-sided tape, which I've already put on just to make the video go a little bit smoother, or at least I hope it does. So far so good, it's come off without incident. So I'm just going to put the offcuts in the bin, which is right beside me. Now I'm going to take a piece of, I wanted some paper that matches this paper. Now we have got some shades of pink. It's not quite the same tone of pink, but that doesn't really matter because what I've got other bits and pieces just over there, which you'll see in the course of the video. So everything, hopefully, will all coordinate. So what we need to do, lay it on so that it's overlapping, so that, in a sense, it's actually bigger than your board. Now, I found this is the easiest way to do it, because even if you've got dies that will cut to this measurement, unless you're very, very clever or very lucky, it's almost, well, I find it almost impossible to get the thing on straight. There's always one little bit that you miss. Well, I do anyway. So if you're like me and aren't perfect, the best way to do it, or I found anyway, is pop it on so that it's bigger. Turn it round. So yes, you're going to get that off cut. Now, I find it easiest to cut from the front because then you can see what you're doing. So all we're going to do, cut up and angle your scissors. If I move that towards the camera, angle your scissors in towards the thing that you're cutting against. So in this case, your board. Now, I'm going to cut off the short ends first because that will make the long ends easier, if that makes any sense. So we're just going to cut, and the other way about doing this, if you're using scissors, of course you can use I wouldn't suggest using a trimmer if you're using thick board, it might get stuck, but you could use a knife if you want to, a craft knife. Now, I've never had much luck with craft knives. I usually end up cutting myself, which isn't very pleasant. So, but if you're going to use scissors, but use whatever works for you. If you're brilliant with a craft knife, then by all means use a craft knife. But I find scissors easier. So if you're going to use scissors, just angle your scissors in. So when you've finished, you have a beautiful front. I'm just going to put all these bits. In fact, I'm going to save one little bit because we're going to make a pendant. So then you will have a beautiful front, so you can't see the bit on the back. And when you turn it over, you have an equally beautiful back. Now, there's one thing I should have done before putting that back on, but it doesn't really matter because it won't show. What we are going to do, because I've got a clip, we're making a clipboard, I've got this beautiful clip. Now, this is a hair clip, it's not a standard clipboard clip. But what I've done, I have used, if you use a plastic one, if you use a metal one, you're going to have trouble. But although it's not impossible, it's just a bit more difficult. Now, I've got a plastic hair clip and I used a pair of standard wire cutters. And what I did, it makes a bit of a mess and it's a bit noisy, which is why I did it off camera. So just press it and open it out, and then just put your wire cutter blades over the end of the teeth like that and squeeze. Just do it as flat as you can. So over the end, oops, sorry, like that. Because I've already done it, what I should have done was left one undone to show you, but I like that, and squeeze. So that's ever so easy. So otherwise it looks a bit bulky. If you keep the teeth on, it does look a bit bulky. But if you like that chunky look with the teeth showing, then by all means keep them on, or keep them on at the back and keep them flat at the back, leave them at the front, other way around. Do whatever you like. It's your clipboard, you can do what you like. And on this one, the sparkly bits are on both sides, so it really doesn't matter how you treat the teeth, so to speak. Now, I'm going to put a piece across the top, and this measures, I'd say, 1 by 8 inches, roughly. So what you need to do, now, if I can find it, oh, there it is, that's handy. It's jolly handy having this drawer right by my side where I work. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, well, first of all, get the clip out of the way. We don't need it just yet. Run some, I'm going to use red runner tape. It's going to be covered up anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'll put that back so you can see what I'm doing. So what you need to do is put that so that it lines up along the top edge, and so that you've got about 1 inch or so hanging over. It doesn't really matter, but as long as it's enough to fold round and press down at the back. Now you can do what I was going to do and put that on before you put your backing on, but it really doesn't matter because we're going to have something over the top. In fact, you know what? Let's deal with that now. As we've got it on the back, let's deal with that now. You will need a piece of A4 card, and let's just pop that to one side for a second. And you need to cut it down in length so that it's roughly, now what did I say? Oh, I've put my notepad on. What did I say? Back support, 6 by 12. So take a piece of never mind about the 12, just take a piece of A4 card and cut it down to about 6 inches. And then what we're going to do, I've already folded it, so but what we need to do, we need to fold it in half and crease it. And then what we need to do, this is the bit I haven't done because obviously it would stick and you wouldn't see what I'm doing. You need to take some glue. Ordinary PVA style glue will be wonderful for this. You can use tape if you want to, but if you're going to be making these to sell, if you make your products and you're making them to sell, you're going to run out of tape very quickly, which would actually make your clipboards rather expensive. Then just stick it down. If you use the quick grab glue, that'll be fine. Now we're going to turn that over and we're going to do that again. So just keep the central line or the central crease in line, have it in your mind's eye, so to speak. So go either side of the crease. It doesn't matter if you put them on all, it'll just make it stronger. Fold it over, make sure it's lined up, and stick it down like that. Now for this last bit, it does get a bit thick, so I am going to use a bit of tape, and I am going to pop that down like that. It doesn't matter if it's not straight, it doesn't matter if it doesn't go right to the edge. We're just going to pop that off like that, because all we want is we want the thing to stay flat like that. This is so that the clip has something to grip on. Now I would suggest making 2 of these. I actually made 1 to begin with, but I've grabbed another piece of card. It's not quite the same tone, but that doesn't matter. So what we do, if you have got a piece that's not quite the same tone, this is slightly brighter pink, so this is the same as that. So put that one on the bottom and put that one on the top. And again, we're going to use a bit of tape to do this because glue, it might work with glue, but I'm going to use tape. So we're just going to, this is one of those things you can't do in advance, otherwise you can't show the process. So make sure that the fold is at the top, and then add your piece like that. Now that's why it doesn't matter too much if that doesn't show, or if that's over the top, because now we're going to stick that to there. So what we're going to do, we are going to use both. We're going to use 1 more piece of tape to make it stick instantly. So just, The fiddliest bit, especially when you're doing it on camera, is getting the backing tape off of the double-sided tape. There we go. And then just take some quick grab glue, some PVA style glue. This will keep it strong and stop it from falling off, because tape does dry out in time if you're going to be using this over a long period of time. If it's just a one and done, then it doesn't matter. But if you're going to be using these clipboards repeatedly, it's always best to put a blob of glue. Now, I can't see what I'm doing, so hopefully that's... Oh, that's about right. That's handy. So we'll pop that on there like that. So when you turn it over, you've now got a clipboard that's resting on that nice pad like that. It's all right, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just repositioning myself. Now, once we've got that far, we're very nearly done. So the next part actually is up to you. I always like to make a pen loop when I make clipboards. Now you don't have to measure this, it doesn't really matter. This is going to be roughly, oh I don't know, 2 by 3 or something like that. I haven't really measured it. What did I put for my pen loop? Yeah, I did put 2 by 3, but it doesn't really matter, that's not important. Then what I would suggest you do is do what I didn't do before I started and find yourself a pen to measure it with. A thick pen preferably. So, oh, that'll do. So find yourself a pen. You don't have to, this isn't going to be the pen that it's going in, but you just need a pen so that you can, let's move that out of the way. So you start at the end and you just wind it, you roll it. Try and keep it straight. If you don't, I'm going to show you how we deal with the bits that don't end up straight. So use a bit of glue or tape runner. I'm going to use tape runner because it's on my desk right in front of me. Give it a good rock. Just rock it backwards and forwards to make sure that the thing seals. Take it out, and then if you have got a bit of overhang like I have, find your scissors and just cut it off. So we've got a bit of overhang there, so just to straighten it up, we just cut it there and we cut it there, and I thought that was going to go flying on the floor, but it didn't. Fantastic. Now, of course, we have to attach our pen loop to our clipboard. And I always put mine on the left-hand side. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm left-handed, or as my mother used to say, cack-handed. So I'm going to grab some foam pads, which are in my drawer up here. I'm really glad that I put these drawers over here. They really are handy. Especially if I forget something, which is one of the reasons I did put the drawers there in the first place, because I was always forgetting things, whether I was videoing or whether I was doing something else. I thought, oh, I need that, or I need a foam pad, or I need this, and I didn't have it, so I thought, well, let's just make a set of drawers and put there. Problem solved. So we're just going to put a couple of foam pieces there. Now that can go straight back in the drawer, nice and tidy. Well, until my next project anyway. Obviously, we take the backing off, and I've got my bin next to me so I don't make a mess on the floor. That doesn't mean I don't always, and it doesn't mean that it goes in the bin. Sometimes it misses. So then I'm going to put mine there. You can put yours at the bottom, you can put it on the right. I always put mine on the left-hand side. It's just a trademark of my clipboards, but you can put them where you like. And then just take the pen that you used to roll it around in the first place. Ideally, use the type of pen that you're going to be using in your clipboard, but that's fine. So pop that in there like that. Usually we'd use something like a biro. Oh, trust me to pick up an orange one. And that would slip in there quite nicely. I wouldn't use that one because it doesn't fit. It doesn't, I mean, colour-wise, it doesn't fit. So I wouldn't use that one in there. I'd use it in one of my orange ones. But that's what you do. It's the first one I happen to pick up. Then there are just 2 more things to do. One is to find, obviously we need some paper. Now I sell my clipboards from my website, and I always sell mine with a stock of paper. Now if you make yours, it's entirely up to you whether you do this. It's up to you whether you add the pen loop, but it's always a good idea, because if you're selling your products, it's always a good idea to add something that other people aren't. I've even found some pink paper, a paper pad. Actually, it was a thick paper pad. It was about that thick. So I just split it in half. I thought, yeah, for a clipboard, that would be fine. Then, all you've got to do, final thing, icing on the cake, so to speak, add your clip, which is nice and firm. Now you've got that double bit at the back, and you have a very smart clipboard. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And it started with an offcut from a roll of wrapping paper. So if you've got wrapping paper, you don't have to make a clipboard. You can use it for a backing paper for a greeting card. You can make a book, a little notebook. You can make anything you like. This is just my idea because I love making clipboards. I'm funny like that. So there you go. And if you want to see it with... Now, have I got a pen with a clip in it? Apart from the orange one. Highly unlikely. I did have somewhere, but no, I haven't. So that one I'll have to do. It doesn't fit the colour theme, but it'll have to do because I can't find anything else. Oh, the only other one I have got is the one that's on my other clipboard. I've got so many clipboards on my table. It's just, actually, that one won't fit. But use the pen that you're going, ideally, use the type of pen that you're going to use in your clipboard as a guide to your pen loop, if you decide to use a pen loop. So there we go, guys. There is our clipboard. And the inspiration was from a piece of wrapping paper. You can use your wrapping paper for anything. If you like making your own drinks coasters, you can use that for that as well. And of course, you can batch make them. So there we go. That's just a few ideas what you can do with your rolls of wrapping paper if you don't just want them to be thrown away after a present's wrapped. If you have any other ideas that you'd like us to try here, or you'd like me to explain any further, any other projects you'd like me to do, drop me a comment. I read them all and I will do my best to oblige you. And I will be back on Friday now, I think. So where are we? No, I won't. It is Friday. So that's the trouble when you video ahead of time. I will be back on Tuesday. And I've got another bag charm project for you. So that seemed to be quite popular. So I've got a bag charm video for you. Very quick and easy to make. And it's one of those things you can make with scraps. So come back on Tuesday and find out what I get up to next. And in the meantime, have a fantastic weekend, whatever you're doing. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.